Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Elyce and thank you for clicking on today's video. I'm really excited about putting this video together, sharing 10 things that I wish I knew before moving to Germany. And I hope you find this video helpful if you're considering moving to Germany too. So I moved to Germany back in December 2020. I've been here for a few years now and there's been a few things that I've discovered along the way. I've talked in my previous video about like 10 things that I love about Germany, and there are so many things to love, but there's also some surprises too. So I'm looking forward to talking about that today. It's been a little while since I've been on YouTube and I'm really happy to be back. Life has been hectic at the moment. I can't wait to catch you up on all things that's been happening. I hope you guys are all well. I've missed you. I hope you've got a nice hot drink and ready to sit down and listen to the juicy goss. So since I've been gone, Romeo has turned 1. Like, I just cannot believe how time has flown, and at this time last year I was just in my little newborn bubble. Now I've got a real toddler and he is on the move and he is talking and he's just full of energy and keeping me on my toes. Also, since he's turned 1, Romeo has started Kita, which is childcare in Germany. And I have started back at work too. I'm doing part-time, so life is a bit busy, just learning how to get myself into a new groove of, you know, working and being mum. But I'm really liking the balance of, you know, doing part-time and having enough time to, you know, do everything that I need to do with Romeo as well. So this weekend we are flying to Australia and we're going to spend our summer Christmas there, and I can't wait. It's been a while since I've spent Christmas back home with my family, so I can't wait to, you know, catch up with everybody, and I'm looking forward to Jay and Elena and Romeo, you know, coming with me and getting to know the family. Only my mum has met Romeo, so I'm really excited to introduce Romeo to my whole family. It's gonna be a bit emotional, I think. I'll try to keep it together. But so while we are in Australia, we're not just spending Christmas with my family. Jay and I are going to be tying the knot, getting married in Australia. So we've been busy planning our wedding little ceremony. It's not going to be anything big. It's just going to be really small and intimate, just with mostly family and a few friends. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to celebrating our wedding. Like, I can't believe I'm thinking back to when we got engaged and time has just flown. Everything is pretty much organized now and there's only a few days to go. So we're getting married on the 20th of December. Here is my husband to be.
Oh yeah.
So today I'm going to be telling them about 10 things that I wish I knew about Germany before I moved.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything that you can think of at the top of your list that you wish you knew?
At the top of my list, what would I say? I found out quite late about claiming for my taxes. I overheard some work colleagues talking about taxes, and I'm like, am I a part of this? Am I in this bracket as well? Can I get my taxes back? I was like, what? You can get money back?
Is it similar to what we have in Australia? Like, you can claim your taxes back, do all the paperwork, and
oh my gosh,
do it. You got to do it, you know, each year.
Oh yeah, and paperwork. You have to do so much paperwork here. Oh my gosh, and especially when you don't know the language, it can be extremely intimidating, because you see like paperwork upon paperwork upon paperwork, and you're like, what page do I start? Can I scan through? If you scan through, it doesn't make any sense anyway. Yeah, so it's quite daunting. I'm gonna cut and leave her because I gotta go do the dinner. Yeah, Jay's on dinner duty tonight while I chat with you guys. Romeo's in bed. Oh, thank you for chiming in, and catch you soon. Love. All right then.
Bye.
Bye. These are lovely, by the way, so I'm gonna let her nibble on some little Leibniz minis while I'm cooking. Don't eat too much because you don't want to lose your appetite, right?
I don't want to spoil my dinner.
No.
Ooh. Oh, they're really tiny.
Yeah.
I like tiny teddies from Australia. Well, I was not expecting that. Oh my gosh. I've actually seen the biggest size, but I've never seen these. Yeah, these are Moorish.
Right.
This is something. This is something that you just want to just keep going with. All right, so let's get into it. So number one thing that was quite a surprise when I first moved to Germany was that you have to pay monthly for a bank account. That's not something that I was used to from living in Australia. Living in Australia, usually you'll have your bank account and it'll be your main account and you get your wages paid into it, and you won't have to pay for your bank account because you're depositing regular income into it. It would be different if you weren't getting an income and it was just something that you were putting money into rarely, then you might have to pay for a fee. But yeah, here, even though that you've got your regular income going into it, you still need to pay to have a bank account. 9 or 10 euros a month, so it's not like something small. It's quite, yeah, you notice that. There are some bank accounts, like the online bank accounts, that you can get free, but if you're looking for a German bank account, one that, you know, that has a branch and that you can go to, then yeah, you will have to pay for your account. So the second thing that surprised me about living in Germany is that most people that live in Germany are renters. And I've just Googled, so in 2022, about 46.7% of the population lived in an owner-occupied dwelling. So it's actually one of the lowest home ownership rates, which is quite surprising. And that kind of leads into my next point of number 3. Something that surprised me was that when you rent in Germany, you pretty much just have a shell of a house. Like, you don't get lights, there's sometimes not even a kitchen, and you need to fit out the rental place as you like it, which I guess kind of makes sense. If most people in Germany rent, then maybe they set up the house the way that they want. They don't often move. So once you sort of set up your place, you'll stay in this place for quite a while. Compared to living in Australia, you get the kitchen, you get the lights. I believe there's a higher percentage of home ownership in Australia though. Okay, so home ownership in 2021 was 67%. So yes, if you are planning on moving to Germany, you know, looking for an apartment, be prepared for, you know, that you will have like basically an empty house. There are some places that you might need to take on their kitchen. You will need to make a deal with the people that are moving out of their house and say how much you're going to pay for their kitchen. But it is quite competitive over here to rent. There are lots of people looking for rental places all the time, so you might be one of many people applying for that rental place. So the next thing on my list was that even though a lot of the people do speak English here and you reasonably can get by, I would suggest learning the language and having, you know, the basics so you can get by, communicate, have a little bit of confidence in yourself. If you're planning on moving over, doing some lessons would be beneficial. Learning German is not easy, and finding the time to do that can be often quite difficult when you're working as well. So Romeo has just started Kita, and we've been going through it with him getting sick with the colds, the runny noses, and a lot of the time I'm the one that is taking Romeo to the doctor's appointment. And so having the basic communication, being able to take my son to the doctors and be able to organize appointments really makes a difference for myself. My world is starting to open up more and I'm coming out of my little English bubble. So a company that I've used before is called Lingoda. They're an online language school. I've used their services before. I know friends who have used their services before, and I highly recommend them. They're fantastic for learning German on the go when you're busy, especially with me being in this phase of life right now, being mum, working part-time. Time is limited. Having online lessons really works for me, and I know it would work for a lot of you too. And I know that when I do my online lessons, I always walk away feeling like I've done something good. It's kind of like also when you go to the gym. When you go there and you've done your exercise, you're feeling good after it, it's those endorphins. You kind of get the same feeling after a lesson too, because the teachers are so nice and you're talking with the students, you're practicing rather than scrolling on my phone. I've actually spent the time and I'm making some improvements on myself. Being able to learn a language is such a rewarding feeling. So it's not just German that you can learn French, Spanish, English, business English. So if you're ready to start learning a language, then check out Lingoda. They've got a really great program running and it's called the Sprint Challenge. So the Sprint Challenge is a 60-day intensive course, and the great thing about the Sprint Challenges is that you get a little reward back. You get treated for doing the lessons. If you take on the Sprint Challenge, which is the 30 lessons over the 60 days, you can earn 50% cash back, or you can get credits upon successfully completing the challenge. If you complete the Super Sprint Challenge, you can get 50% cash back, or you can get credits of more lessons if you complete the whole Super Sprint Challenge successfully. Of course, if you're doing the 60 lessons over 60 days, you're going to make the fastest progress. The lessons become a habit and you're motivated to continually show up for your lessons. So I wanted to show you a little bit of what the live lessons look like and me having a go at doing the lessons. So let's check that out now. Hallo, guten Abend.
Hallo. Elyce oder Elyce?
Elyce.
Elyce.
Ja. Ich bin Elyce, oder ich heiße Elyce. Ich komme aus Australien. Ich lebe in Köln. Ich bin Lehrerin in International Schule.
Wir sagen, Lehrerin ist too hard.
Yeah.
Just try to not pronounce the H. Lehrerin. Lehrerin.
Lehrerin.
Richtig, das ist richtig. Sometimes this H that we see in combination from letters, in that case we don't pronounce the H out.
Okay.
Because we have that difficulties. We should take so breath out. It makes so difficult.
2 ist die Kreuzung.
Vorsicht. Hallo Papa.
Lisa.
Elyce, sehr freundlich von Ihnen. Wer sagt das? Der Sohn, das oder das? Was ist richtig?
Sehr freundlich von Ihnen ist sich bedanken.
Sehr gut.
Kennen Sie den Weg zum Krankenhaus? Nach dem Weg fragen.
Elyce, wie schreiben wir hier?
Überqueren Sie die Straße. I've got a discount link that you can click on in the description box and you can use that, and when you sign up you can get 20 euros off when you join, or 25 USD. So what are you waiting for? Go check out the link, click, and I will see you in the lessons. So the next thing I wish I knew about Germany. So I wish I knew a little bit more about how the childcare system worked here. There's lots of different options. So you can have a Tagesmutter, which is run by a carer in their home, which is all approved and checked by the state, and it's just a very smaller setting, and they'll have up to 5 kids in their care. And then there's also a Kita, and that is like a kindergarten where it's like a center, and there's a lot more children there and there's lots more teachers there. It's more of like a traditional childcare center. Some people get nannies to come to their house and look after their children if they have to go to work. So there's a few different options available to you. So in Cologne we had to go onto like an online portal which is called Little Bird, and you need to put in all your preferences there. You get up to 5 preferences of a place where you would like to send your child, and you can sort of look for them in your area, and hopefully they will assign a childcare to you. A lot of my friends who have had children here sort of said, don't rely on Little Bird because you might not get what you want or anything. Go to the actual centre, introduce yourselves, try to go to one of the open evenings and, you know, show your face, get to know them. So that's we did. We took that advice. We went to a few of the different open evenings, and that was really good. It was good to see the Kita in person and meet the teachers. But we soon found out that, you know, you just join a waiting list, and the waiting lists are quite epically long. It was getting closer to the time where I was going to be returning back to work, and we didn't have a spot for Romeo yet, and I was a little bit nervous, like, oh, what are we going to do? In the end, we got a phone call, we got offered a place, which was really great because it was one of the places that we visited. You need to pay a percentage of your wage. Every family is a little bit different, but they calculate how much you're earning and how much you need to pay the state towards your childcare. And it's interesting because not all states in Germany are the same when it comes to childcare. Some states you might not have to pay anything for childcare, which is amazing, but there are some that you do, and unfortunately in Cologne you do. So when your child is starting Kita, you go through, what's it called? Eingewohnen, that's it. Which is basically like a transition program that they have to get your child ready to stay at Kita without you. So I was expecting the Eingewohnen to maybe be around 10 days. Ours lasted like a month and a bit. It was quite long. And that wasn't just specific to Romeo, that was the whole group. And I don't really think it was because they had to. I think it was more of a staffing thing, so don't take that as the norm. But yeah, every Kita is different, every child is different, and the way that they respond to Kita will be different, or wherever they're having their care. So, but I found Eingewohnen to be a really great process. You need to have the time off work so that you can be there to support your child. And so initially what it looked like was I would take Romeo to the Kita and I would be in the room with him and we would play together. And so that was really good. You'd spend like an hour there for, the first few, I think ours was like a week. And then they sort of start to up the time, and then you may be there for 2 hours. Then they will start to remove you for the room for maybe 10 minutes. Mum's gonna go have a little coffee break and come back. And then they'd up it a little bit more and you'd leave for a little bit longer. And eventually you get to the point where you would leave the Kita and then come back. That took quite a while for, our Eingewohnen, but I found that it was a really great process and I felt comfortable, Romeo felt comfortable, and the teachers got to know him and he got to know the other children in the group. So I felt like, it was a really good feeling just knowing that I was a part of the process. It wasn't just like, okay, here's my child, look after my child. It was a really nice, slow process. The next thing that I didn't know about Germany is their education system, and it's actually quite different to what we have in Australia. In Australia, in primary school, your child will start around 5 or 6 years old and they will finish primary school in year 6. And after year 6, they will start high school. So after secondary school, high school, you can continue and go on to university, depending on your exam results, or you can start an apprenticeship, or you can go straight into a workplace, whatever sort of journey that you take. So in Germany, the first stage of education is the primary stage, and it's called Grundschule, and students are aged between 6 and 10 years old. Then the next part, which is quite different, after 10 years old, then they start a new school, which is the secondary education. You've got 3 different tiers of education. So the first tier is Hauptschule, and that's a more vocational orientated style of education, and that will last till around grade 10, 9 or 10. Then there's the Realschule, which offers a broader education and it will until year 10. And then there's Gymnasium, which is more your academic focused school, and that will usually last till around grade 12 or 13. Depending on your exams, it will grant you into your higher education. So the German education system does seem very streamlined into, you go to this school if this is the career path that you're wanting to sort of go down. I'm sure there's other qualifications that you can get after maybe you attend Hauptschule, but it seems like if you attend Hauptschule, then that is the type of career, like a more hands-on, technical sort of career path. So yeah, it does seem very streamlined in that type of way. The next thing that I wish I knew before moving to Germany was that on Sundays it is like really, really a rest day. The shops are closed, supermarkets are closed, restaurants and cafes are open. But yes, it is a rest day, it's a day to spend with your family, and that's something different to in Australia, like where all the shops are open on Sundays as well. And I kind of feel the pressure to get everything done on a Saturday. If you're working during the week, okay, I've got Saturday, I've got to go do this, I've got to do that, I've got to get everything done, and then Sunday, you really need that rest because you've run around a lot on Saturday. That's something I do miss about Australia, is just having the option, if I need to go to the supermarket on Sunday, I can pop in. But it's also really nice in Germany to have a rest day and that focus to be put on families and spending quality time, even if you're on your own, just to have a day of relaxing, explore your interests, your hobbies, get outside. Lots of people outside in Germany doing things. The next thing that surprised me a little bit was that quite a lot of the time trains and buses are delayed in Germany. I thought that they would be a little bit more on time because Germans respect being on time and being punctual to things. So I just thought that their transport would be timely too. Sometimes it is, a lot of the times it's not. And I've noticed it the most now when I'm taking Romeo to Quito, we get the bus. And this one particular line that I get on is just always late. Some buses, they come a little bit more regularly. I guess if they're going to the city, it comes every 10 minutes, but this particular one comes every 20 minutes. And it's like, if you just miss it, it's such a bugger and you have to wait. And now it's winter, it's cold, 20 minutes sitting in this little bus shelter is not, it's not it. So there's other options, but I'm chickening out and I'm going on the bus. Another thing that surprised me was how many people cycle in Germany. I was surprised by that, and it's not just your typical people that love cycling, that have the kit, the full kit on, and they're in their lycra and they're out cycling. It's not those people, it's everyone. The elderly, the young, and they're all wearing not the full kit, it's just everyday outfits. Everyone's going for a ride, they're riding to work, they're riding just for fun, as a casual hobby thing to do. But I was surprised by the number of people that ride here and that it is such a big riding culture over here. I'm surprised by the number of elderly people that I see riding bikes. There's a lot of healthy German elderly people here. So be prepared, if you move over to Germany, you're going to become part of this little cycling crew. Alright, I'm back looking a little bit different. No makeup and getting ready to fly to Melbourne. And I was just doing my editing and I realized I only said 9 things, so I had to come back with another one. And I've been thinking, and the one thing that I was really impressed by, and I think is really important to know before you move to Germany, is how good the healthcare system is over here. So I recently experienced what it was like to be in the healthcare system because I had my son, so I had my whole pregnancy through the German healthcare system, and I was really impressed. If you're planning on moving to Germany, that's something that you can feel confident in. I think the level of care over here is really amazing. Like the whole way I felt like the doctors all cared, the nurses cared, I felt safe. All of the charges were covered under my healthcare, and that's just the normal statutory one that you get when you move to Germany. Everyone in Germany needs to have healthcare insurance, and so that is really great. Everyone is able to access healthcare over here and a really high level of care. So that wraps up my 10 things that I wish I knew before moving to Germany, and I hope they were helpful to you. I hope there were some different ones. So that brings me to the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed catching up with me and Jay, and I'm looking forward to making more videos for you guys and sharing the next chapter of our wedding and going to Australia. And I hope the rest of 2023 is amazing for you. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, stay safe. Don't forget to check out Lingoda, the link is in my description box. Let's learn a language together and bring in the new year.